All right, so we are on Autumn Leaves, and on the top right we see the Frenchman inside, playing human, going for the Archmage first. Bottom left we have Scars, and it is the Farseer, and it seems like the one grunt into Headhunter build. So no mirror image.
Beautiful introduction there for us, Link. It should be you that's up on the stage perfectly.
I doubt it.
But Scars here, going with this tried and true Farseer Headhunter approach with the double burrow. I'm pretty interested to see that, actually, because when I play against Scars a lot, he tends to go for the grunt opener, which he has done here, but he sticks with grunts quite a bit into double Spirit Lodge. That's what he's been trying a lot recently. But I like the return to Headhunters here. They help you so much in the early game to creep and put pressure on the human. And SyDe on the other side here, he is getting the tower in the main base, which I also like. I wonder if he'll upgrade it to Arcane before Tech, though. I think maybe it's just the Scout Tower that's prepared. In any case, the tech is beginning now for SyDe right away. Humans these days tend to elect for that 2-farm tech to get the rifles and the Mountain King as soon as possible. And Scars here, he's actually getting another peon. It's quite unusual.
Interesting. Also nice recast to deny the XP of the one low wolf. And we see the first encounter, but SyDe apparently isn't quite comfortable just taking this fight already.
Yeah, the trouble for human is that you tend to get the first camp easily enough, but then after that you need to run away from the Orc. The Orc has a lot of early game presence, and it usually just builds and builds and builds as they rally more and more Headhunters or Grunts, whatever units they decide. And SyDe, you know, he's not going to get the Blacksmith online that early. He's not going to get more units until a time later. I can see the Blacksmith coming up now as well. But he's banking on getting the Mountain King and the Rifle Caster army up as quickly as possible. And Scars, he's taking the time to creep up in the face of SyDe, which I really like. And now we have Chain Lightning online as well. And SyDe taking a little bit too much damage here in the Archmage, actually.
But he's trying to make it work and trying to distract Scars and trying to make him, not creep up to level 3 just that quickly. But this could be dicey. You see the Archmage dropping very low. And as you said, Chain Lightning is online, so a few more hits and the Chain Lightning. And
the Archmage goes down. I can't believe this had happened so early
Ouch.
into the game. And I think SyDe, you know, he kind of got him boxed himself into a corner there, and now you wouldn't want to TP with like a 10 HP Archmage. What are you going to do? You can't creep anything. He used the Elemental before dying, so he wouldn't be able to creep upon teleporting home, and now the Farseer here could just freely creep to 3, and I feel like the follow-up is going to be so tough for SyDe to deal with. Scars could go for kind of any hero and any strategy and be able to just relentlessly put pressure on the human with the level 2 wolves.
Yeah, Scars has the complete control over the map now. He can more or less do whatever he wants. And we see the Archmage coming back now. Shop not ready yet. Also, Aura not online. So this is a very sticky situation for the human player here. We see he's trying to creep up to level 2 somehow, taking the small green camp, but I would say it's more of a desperation move, and I feel like SyDe probably expected something else from Scars, and I guess that kind of backfired for him, don't you think?
I'm not really sure what SyDe was trying to anticipate, honestly, with the Scars. It feels like he really should have focused on getting at least level 2 before trying to venture onto the map, as human is very weak without the ability to regenerate mana, generate more water elementals, and also it kind of allows more time to pass in-game so that the Archmage can get boots and then start applying some pressure to the Headhunters that are creeping potential. You see Scars, you know, a little bit greedy here. If the game had gone differently, there was perhaps a window to put some damage down onto those units and maybe even get it 1 or 2 kills. And, you know, unfortunately, it's just totally gone the other way, and Scars, he's able to tech up to tier 3 immediately. We've got Troll Regeneration coming online. No second here yet. It's going to be the Pit Lord. What are your favorite heroes, Link?
It is, indeed. And he's going for Hall of Terror first, so taking the Mercenary camp will be somewhat easier because he's taking less damage. Also feel like Scars maybe forgot the Voodoo Lounge because he was heading back with the Farseer, but there was none, and he just started building it then. But this Mercenary camp will be an easy level 2, more or less instantly for the Pit Lord, and then he could potentially cleave away.
Cleave away, baby. Especially with that level 2 cleave, it's just so strong, especially with good items. Unfortunately for Scars, he did only get 2 rings protection, but at least that means the Pit Lord will have the staying power to just constantly attack with reckless abandon and not really have to worry about his health. But not having the damage does feel a little bit lackluster going forward. But SyDe, you know, with 2-1 heroes here, you know, this is going to be tough to take any sort of skirmish. I think making the best of the situation, but Book of the Dead being popped right now, there's always potential for surround with that spell. Oh, the Mountain King narrowly squeezes out of that surround. The Farseer actually getting a little bit low here, but there is TP and Cloak of Shadows. Oh, the Farseer's just going to walk away from the situation, and the Howl of Terror mitigating the damage.
Awesome play by Scars.
It was really nice managing to just get out of that situation. I love that the summons are going on the MK as well to keep his health low at all times. Farseer micro beautifully to the side, and Howl of Terror is just so insanely strong on level 1. The amount of damage mitigation, I think, is 30% on level 1. It's just huge. Oh, nice levels up though for SyDe right now.
You see the level up on the Mountain King now, so now there is a big danger for the Farseer. Scars really needs to take care of that.
Oh, the bolt!
Oh, nice dodge with the TP. And actually he went for the Headhunter, so he just forced the TP.
That was an interesting little mind game there, because there was potential for Scars to get the kill on the unit while simultaneously forcing the TP, because they were so close to each other, the Farseer and the unit. You don't know where the bolt was going to fly, and you would never in that situation not pull the TP. It would be too greedy.
Yeah, definitely. Especially after such an early game where he had such a huge advantage already. But now that gives SyDe the time to take the lab, and we will see what the item will be. I think this could be potentially very good for the Mountain King. But Scars is making his way across the map again because he wants to continue Brawl. And rightfully so, I would say.
Yeah, absolutely. Even though the Scars was forced into the TP, he has the ability to recover nicely using the items from the Voodoo Lounge that Orc has available.
Definitely.
And the Pit Lord here, he's full HP. The Farseer is pretty much recovered as well, nicely, can stay far back. Lightning Orb also has the potential to get hero kills, unit kills, and secure those. But the Headhunters right now, finally morphing into Berserker form, will do a little bit more damage. It's popped immediately. Oh, Chain Lightning in the last lightning shot from the Farseer. Not enough to take out the Mountain King. The Creep is moving around a lot. Boots of Quel'Tha at last. An interesting item, actually. Quite good, I would say, for the Pit Lord, going towards him. Level 2 Chain Lightning coming on online as well for Scars right now is going to be really tough for SyDe to handle. And unfortunately, even though he forced the TP, SyDe wasn't able to get any control of the middle whatsoever.
And we see Spirit Walkers as an addition. A little bit interested. Is it for Spirit League only?
Well, apparently, Link, it's for Tauren.
Do you think he's gonna go Tauren? Oh, it is.
We have Tauren coming up here.
See, so you're the professional after all. And but also we see the Pit Lord as a frontline. He has the Boots of Quel'Tha, 2 rings +4, and the slipper. So he got a lot of armor. It's gonna be a tough demon to kill.
Yeah, it's going to be absolutely huge right now. Level 2 Chain Lightning coming onto the Mountain King. The Mountain King just goes down, Link. And it's looking very dicey for SyDe right now. It feels like he doesn't have any momentum in this game whatsoever after that early game. Anyone would be in this position typically. It's so hard to recover from a hero loss in the early game, especially against a hero like Farseer who can just creep so fast if there is no one to intercept or harass the creeping from the Orc. And the Pit Lord is there just for outrageous scaling. You know, if we see a level 5 Pit Lord with good items, it's just game over for human.
Absolutely. And Scars got the advantage in the early game. It seems like he's playing it very smart and very consistently, and not giving away the advantage whatsoever. He's just on point, and he seems to always be on point in these kind of tournaments.
Yeah, I warmed up with Scars a little bit beforehand, and I managed to get the first game, and then I didn't win another game for 4 games. He's just one of those guys that when he comes back into playing and manages to get a few games into grind, he is a great player, and obviously against players like SyDe, he can do very, very well indeed. Red Camp being taken out now by Scars, actually. This could be a crucial item, potentially. The Shadowhunter brought along some nice items as well, actually. We got the Clarities for the Farseer, also the big mana dropped as well, so there's tons of mana available for that hero as well. Level 2 Chain Lightning, not to be underestimated in these engagements against Riflecaster.
Yeah, absolutely. And we see SyDe is probably trying to set up an expansion up there. I guess this is maybe his only way back into this game, because he was already so behind from more or less start to finish. No, well, we're not at the finish yet, so we don't call him out yet. Or count him out, I should say. And
yes.
But I guess Scars already has a sense for that, and he knows what is the chance of SyDe getting back, and it's probably an expansion. So he's heading in that direction already anyway, because the right side of the right side of the map is already prepped. Pretty much everything went to Scars, and he's now going for the red spot. And who's always gonna be? Can the Mountain King get the XP? It would be so helpful if he could be able to get into level 3, but
I feel
just not quite yet.
I feel SyDe is in a desperate situation here. He really needed the red camp item. The Golem's turning around. SyDe managed to secure the last hit, actually, and get the battle bongos, as I like to call them, for the rifles, which does add a decent amount of damage, but definitely not the best item overall. Speed Scroll being popped as well here for Scars. He really wants to try and get more kills with the Chain Lightning, but kind of gets blocked a little bit. The Farseer was a bit stuck at the back.
Yeah, and SyDe had to be home to his main base, and that leaves his expansion pretty much unprotected, and Scars sees it and just tears it down, or rather cancels it.
We can see just how many items Scars has right now. You know how much more he's crept. The XP differential is just absolutely humongous. We saw earlier over 1,000 XP, and I imagine that's only going to continue to grow as the game goes on.
Absolutely. We see the Farseer close to level 5 with 4.7, and Pitlord level 4, Shadowhunter level 2 already. And if he could get the Shadowhunter to level 3 for a level 2 healing wave, that would be potentially the nail in the coffin for any fight.
SyDe starting the second Sanctum, which I think is a good move. It feels like we need a lot of Sorceress, potentially Breakers as well. And we see that SyDe also retrained to Blizzard, which is really, really strong against Orc in general, but also Berserkers, especially when they cast Berserk. Berserk causes you to take 40% more damage from all sources. So the damage stacks up extremely fast, and with that level 2 clap, SyDe has got to hope that the mass AoE damage is enough to chew through the backline of Scars. But the trouble is, Scars doesn't just have damage in the back line, he has damage in the front line as well with those Tauren. With the Pulverize upgrade already researched, we see also the Kodo Drum research coming in as well, which is 20% increased damage as well. And of course the Pit Lord, even without damage items, this level 2 cleave is going to be absolutely massive. And the Shadowhunter has like plus 10 agility as well. The damage is pretty huge from his side as well. So it feels like no matter what angle you attack, Scars is going to have the damage to basically just chew through the kind of squishy army that the SyDe has.
Yeah, definitely. He passed on the boots and the slippers from the Pitlord already. He's tanky anyway, and now we get some extra damage on the Shadowhunter as well. We see Master Training coming up for the Walkers, so we might see some revived Torrents, if we even see that once in the first place.
Oh, it'd be really cool to see Ancestral Spirit. Definitely one of my favorite upgrades in the game. And here we go. This may be a decisive fight here between the two players' SyDe without a teleport, and of course no speed scrolls like an Orc could have. This is going to be tough to disengage out of, especially with the Lightning Orb as well. But, oh, the Purge actually did go into the Mountain King. The Mountain King a little bit stuck at the front. There's only a heal scroll to save him. But I think that's not even needed, as we can see that the Tauren are pretty much enough to just chew through the Breaker line. The Berserker's relatively undamaged. That one heal scroll for Scars being popped was enough to keep his army sustained. And now the Pit Lord as well, also with the big healing. And it's just too much for SyDe to overcome. And Scars takes game 1.
GG is called, yeah. Well played by both of them.
Isn't it so cool to have a beautiful audience behind us while we cast League?
It is. I'm nervous, but not as much with that support in the backline.
Yeah, it's really, really cool to hear everybody appreciate the game behind us. And Scars, he is on a roll right now. 3 maps in a row. Trunks, I feel like he defeated rather easily. This game, for SyDe, you know, if he managed to just have a normal early game, let's say, where he didn't lose his hero and was able to get levels, or at least prevent the Orc from easily getting to 3, we could have been looking at a totally different game. But Scars felt comfortable after the kill, managed to just go straight tier 3, get kind of a really fun army that's not typically always seen, but it was so strong in that case because SyDe was playing from behind pretty much the entire time.
Absolutely. Scars had the advantage like since the AM died and never gave it out of hand anymore. He played it consistently strong. He knew his position, he knew when to take the engagement, he knew when to TP out, because that could have been a way back into the game for SyDe. But Scars just played it very strong, front to back, start to finish, and also the Blizzard didn't have that much of an impact because Scars was just ready with the Hex, and it was more or less like one wave, if any, and then it was the Hex. So he was very on point, very active, very focused, very well played by Scars.
Beautiful. That level 2 heal wave there, I feel as well, was just crucial in keeping the back line alive. And then you've got the bulky Tauren and the Pit Lords in front, just able to soak up all the DPS from the rifles. They were just pretty much A-moved. It's so hard to reach the back line in those situations. And I feel like as SyDe backed more and more into the corner, it felt like the Berserkers were just untouched, really. And the Hex on the Archmage all the time, preventing it from casting Blizzard. Yeah. MK was too squishy to keep clapping and clapping, which would have been absolutely basically needed in order for SyDe to overcome the pretty much immeasurable experience difference in this game. It was just so many. You can just see how many items. Like you look through the list, and it's like one hero stacked with items, second hero stacked with items. Even the third hero had quite a few items as well.
Yeah.
Damage items for the Shadow Hunter as well.
Yeah, he was even able to just sell the battle bundles. Because, I mean, he's an orc player, so you got a Kodo and you got a better one.
He
But
doesn't even need it.
I think most of the players would have just kept it. But he was so far ahead that he was very comfortable just selling that.
Well, now it's time to see if SyDe can bring it back, guys. Game 2 is on, and we'll see you in there. Hammerfall it is between the two players. Here we've got SyDe and Scars once again. Scars in the bottom right here, SyDe at the top left. For human, but we're going to see a Mountain King, and that might make things a little bit tricky in order to creep the first camp here, which is typically the expansion with the Golem on the Hammerfall. And now I've just been joined by my fourth co-caster, BigMurphy. How are you doing, man?
It's a pleasure to be here, thanks.
Well, it's my pleasure to have you and all the rest of you that have come on before. So, BigMurphy, you're an undead player, obviously.
Yes, so I know everything about this matchup, obviously.
Yes, clearly. But you might know Scars perhaps better than the matchup, so what could you say from Scars' play so far that you appreciate the most in these three maps we saw?
So what I really like is how he plays and his weird style of mixing things up. You don't see a Pit Lord second usually. It is a little bit unusual. Tier 3 Torrents, he goes non-meta, and I really do like that. I can appreciate that greatly.
Yeah, it was really cool to see. We saw just how much the Pit Lord was carrying in that previous game.
Yeah.
It was really sick. But a Mountain King first, this time from SyDe, is a really interesting choice. Perhaps hoping to continue using that hero once the new patch arrives with a little bit of a stronger bash.
I could imagine that, but maybe also a panic reaction, seeing how the early went last game.
Yeah.
Hard to tell.
Mountain King does help give you that little bit of control, in the early game. But it's usually typically paired with an expansion. So this time I feel like SyDe will have to go for the tier 1 expansion. We do see the fourth farm coming out as well, which is pretty much 99% indicative that SyDe will go for that expo.
But it's super late though, I do have to say. So I'm wondering, he's going level 2 before expansion. Unusual, I would say.
A little bit unusual, and actually the Farseer is going to get on top of the Mountain King before the camp has even started, which is a little bit of a tricky situation for the human player. Maybe SyDe is hoping to force the TP.
Oh, is it this round, is it?
It's going to be close, that's a tricky one to do. Scars beautifully using the Headhunter to keep the counter block up.
But there's a second Stormbolt.
I think there's even a third one after that. Wait, the Mountain King didn't quite get in range.
Away. And the expansion hasn't even started. I mean, this is not ideal.
Well, that's definitely one way to put it, BigMurphy. It's going to be tricky now for SyDe for sure, in order to for him to creep that expansion camp. And actually, the MK is sort of disappearing off screen right now. I wonder if he's going to buy Telestaff, maybe Boots. There we go.
It is Boots, yeah. But I mean, as an undead, at least I know humans, and humans do love their expansions no matter what time.
Well, that time is apparently nighttime, which caused the Mountain King, unfortunately, to lose sight of that Farseer earlier. If SyDe managed to get that second bolt and close this around, it would be so much easier to get the expansion prepped. And now Scars can just creep level 2 and come back and creep Jack with Chain Lightning, and that could be deadly.
Yeah, that is true, although he did give some space. So I think the creep will be kind of gone. So we'll see, I'm not sure.
The timing will be close, actually. We see most of the lower level creeps are gone already, thanks to the militia, which SyDe pulled a lot of. I think that's 8 militia in total.
The Chain Lightning is going to hurt.
Chain Lightning coming in, potentially. Scars focusing the units right now. The bolt has to be used for the unit, which I think is perfectly fine. The experience is very, very important for that Mountain King, trying to get him to level 3 as quick as possible.
That is true. And you see how beautiful Scars keeps the distance. He doesn't go near, he doesn't get bolted.
Yep.
It's really nice.
I'm really curious to see what the follow-up for Scars is going to be, because if I were to play personally, I would think maybe double Beastery could be effective against Mountain King. especially with the expansion is only just coming now. We're almost 5 minutes into the game. And at this point, in a typical game, you would like to have the expansion basically almost finished and the tech maybe being 30 seconds to 60 seconds out from starting. And that's going to be a bit of a tall order for SyDe here. You see the gold required to power build is pretty immense, and he's not going to have the resources to tech anytime soon.
Yeah, that will be really tough. And I mean, if he does go mass air, there will be no anti-air for a long time.
Yeah, could you imagine a couple of wyverns rocking up to your main base? You try to tower up your expansion, get it prepared, and then they just go to your main base and prevent a tower from ever coming up. It's pretty difficult to deal with.
Yeah, sadly enough, I can.
Even as an undead, you know, I can imagine those experiences for sure.
Yeah. But let's pretend that I understand everything that's going on. So.
So Scars here going to achieve level 3 before the Mountain King actually, which is not ideal obviously, but is quite low mana. Okay, both players doing 3 almost exactly at the same time, so there we go.
Yeah.
Level 2 Bolt unlocked, absolutely crucial. Level 2
Yeah.
Wolves, absolutely crucial.
But the greater healing pot, which will save him if he doesn't get this around, he just can't chase it down with boots, bolt and win.
Yeah, I like that SyDe managed to preserve his mana, so with the boots and the level 2 Bolt, he will be able to pretty much chase down anything.
Oh, he will get a couple of kills here.
Really, really nice timing here. The hurt units from Scars here
this
being
will hurt.
intercepted.
Oh,
Oh my
this
god, what a
around.
beautiful move right now. SyDe
Oh
managing to
god.
block all of the units.
Oh god,
Oh,
2
dude.
grunts, 1 headhunter down. Ooh, that stings, man.
That was 8 supply lost in the blink of an
Yeah.
eye, and Scars here, his momentum has just been totally taken away. The wind is away from the sails. And now,
Do we know what scores? I see 1 Wind Rider, but I don't see a second B-Series.
no, so far it's actually the Grunt upgrade, the Berserker Strength.
Yeah.
1 attack upgrade for the Grunts is coming online as well, and then 1 Wyvern. So maybe the Wyvern is just there to help creep.
It's a funky combination, I'm not sure.
Yeah, it feels like with just 1 Beastery, you're not going to get too much done. So perhaps the Wyvern will have creep and expansion, and then Scars can set down an Expo, potentially get some casters online. But that feels like a long way off, and it might give SyDe the space he needs. But then again, the level 2 Wolves, they are so potent indeed, taking out even more peasants in line. Look at all the corpses, BigMurphy.
Oh,
I always
wait, the
mentioned it.
Farseer. Oh, TP forced immediately. Very nice dodge, though.
The mana basically goes into thin air. You know, the hero didn't take any damage.
Yeah.
SyDe still purchases a set of salves, but at least having 1 additional charge will help immensely for him to creep.
That's true. Do you think he'll try to counter-expand or will he try to break?
I would be pretty surprised to see Scars not counter-expand. We've seen in the previous maps, even against Elf, and of course, last map he did ignore the counter-expansion because he went straight tier 3.
Yeah, sure.
But this game,
there it
there's
is. Yeah.
Peon is already present.
Nice
so
call.
We're going to see the counter-expansion come from Scars, which is the logical choice, especially given the build. He's so invested into tier 1 and tier 2 with the Berserker Strength, the attack upgrades, which is definitely quite unorthodox.
And the early losses kind of make it difficult to all in now.
Yeah, and especially without double beastery, it feels like you're not going to get enough raiders online or enough wind riders online in order to really pressure the human, which is a little bit unfortunate because SyDe's base defenses are actually looking rather lackluster this game.
Yeah, he's really chipping out, but he's going for footman harass. Defend foot is in the main.
This is a classic human expansion versus orc attempt maneuver right here. We see the footmen are just so difficult to take care of, but I love that Scars left behind 1 grunt to deal with it, and it might be just enough to mitigate the pressure here that SyDe is putting on Scars right now.
No. Well, but they're almost supply even, which is surprising. I didn't think at this stage it would be that close.
Yes, but to be fair, I mean, Scars doesn't have to invest into anything other than units, and you set down the expansion. All the units are relatively cheap as well, and SyDe is investing into a lot of upgrades. For example, we have tier 3 coming. Paladin 2nd has just started as well. The blacksmith, more farms, more buildings, masonry. All of this is expensive even on 2 bases. So Scars has the time to catch up a little bit in supply there, but he's going to find himself in a bit of a sticky situation against Griffins if it goes that far.
And I think we do see the Griffins coming. I see the first aviary. I'm assuming 1 or 2 more will join. And then probably armor upgrades and mass griffs.
And we know that mass griffins are really oppressive to deal with. When they have high level upgrades, you know, we're talking 3 armor upgrades, maybe 1 or 2 attack upgrades, Holy Light, Staff of Sanctuary, Devotion Aura.
Super difficult to beat.
Especially for Orc. Orc doesn't have a lot of great answers to mass air. You would need either so many poisoned Wind Riders with upgrades, maybe even with Bloodlust or Spirit Link to support them so they don't just die, or they have enough damage to clear out the air, or so many bats before all the armor upgrades and the devotion kicks in for the Griffins. So it's a little bit difficult here. It feels like you're a little bit on a timer as Orc. But saying that, Scars will get his counter expansion up in due time. It's about 30 seconds from being done. But it is triple Avery for side, so we're going to see a lot of Griffins, maybe even some Dragonhawk Riders as well.
Yeah, I'm wondering. He did see the Wind Rider, so he might immediately go for the counter.
There we are. Two Dragonhawk Riders are coming out right now. And Side has a perfect amount of supply to get 2 more Griffins and stay 50 food, if he feels comfortable to stay 50 food. But I'm not sure I would be right now. With this base building, the buildings are quite far out, but the towers are very far back and not so plentiful. So it's going to be a little bit tricky here for Side to defend a potential attack. Though Scars didn't elect to go for Shockwave. Now, I know that Shockwave won't do anything against air, but neither will Stomp, right? And at least Shockwave gives you an angle to attack the base from, kill peasants, and start to damage the human economy before this unstoppable army becomes online.
That is true, and you see Scars goes into the typical Orc problem, no lumber. He can't go tier 3. So Headhunters will not be an option.
No, we would love to see potentially Berserkers as well, but there's just no way that Scars will have the time, so now he needs to buy some time for himself to get online. And Side, he needs time as well. Both players are kind of trying to get a little bit of time for themselves. Early Bat Rider as well for Scars, actually quite interesting.
Yeah, but only 1 bestiary still, right?
Oh, Scars didn't build any initial base defense, so we have no burrows for the peons to escape into and to buy time, no towers, and imagine Shockwave right now, BigMurphy. We would have seen so much damage on the peasants. A lot have already gone down.
They would all be dead. And I think Shockwave would have maybe ended the game just here and now.
Yeah, I do feel that the Stomp is maybe a little bit of an oversight here. Oh, the Shredder would be a huge pickup for Side, though. But it feels like if his whole expansion is ravaged, then the damage to the Orc main base doesn't really matter so much.
Possible, but hard to tell. I'm not yet sure. I mean, we see the first Griffins coming. I don't think against 2 Griffins with the heroes he can really defend expansion. Or how many Raiders did he have?
I will see in just a moment. Just the single Raider, actually, which is already pretty damaged, to be honest. And there's no more heal salves on the side of Scars either, so he won't be able to heal it back up. So it's under danger of just being immediately
so
killed.
I believe if he now TPs with the 1 Griff, the 2 Wind Riders, they're Hawks, I don't see...
But fast reactions here from Side. Wow. Even using the Stormbolt on the Bat Rider, which definitely isn't necessary. The Aerial Shackles ability from Dragonhawks lasts a very, very long time, so it would have done more than enough damage. I love the Footman as well. The 2-pronged harass right now from Side, trying to take care of the main base, but not really able to do much damage. The piercing from Dragonhawks is pretty laughable against Burrows.
Yeah, it does nothing.
But the undefended expo of Scars is easy to attack.
Yeah, but you were right. He gives up his expansion. I wouldn't have guessed, but he thinks it's the smart thing to do.
Yeah, it's going to be tricky for Side here. He does manage to get level 4, immediately scaling up that level 2 Bolt. We do have a potion as well, if needed, potentially.
When the Wind Rider goes down.
Another Aerial Shackle is being put onto the Wind Rider right now. It's a huge amount of experience, and now Devotion Aura is online, which is huge for the human.
Yeah, that super helps. And now I'm wondering, I guess Side is now banking if Mass Griffs will be enough to now break the expansion of Scars. I don't know. Could be.
The margins will be tight here. Side, obviously, now he's no longer on dual base economy, and trying to support 2 aviaries producing Griffins is incredibly expensive. If he stays 50 foot for a while, he will be able to break maybe with an extra 4 Griffins, potentially.
Maybe.
But that's nearly, 800 gold or so, roughly.
But I mean, at this point, he's 10 supply ahead, so it might be enough just now.
Well, Side has invested into a ton of upgrades. Stormhammers is very expensive. We have 3-1 upgrades incoming, so 3 armor and 1 attack for the Griffins, which is all very expensive. Necessary, but expensive, so it will be tricky for Side to get up to the mass that he requires. But Scars, he's also had difficulty getting up to above 50 food. And will he have enough anti-air to deal with these Griffins and Dragonhawks? I'm not so sure.
And there's still 40s in the peon line. Really painful.
Yeah, it seems that Scars is content to actually let the Expo die and just get more and more levels. We see the Farsi here will be pretty close to level 5 fairly soon if he manages to get a big item. Speed Scroll needed to be popped actually because there's too many items on the heroes, which is pretty funny. And yeah, the Expo, I'm not sure if you can even bother to save it as Scars right now. It is important if he tries, but it may be difficult to take a straight up fight. We'll see.
So I mean, the thing that goes for him is the mana is pretty low on both MK and Pala. So there might be some room there.
Here we
Oh,
go.
but
The
he does
fight,
take the fight, yeah.
the fight is engaged right now. Wind Rider goes down immediately, and the backline is starting to disappear pretty quickly for Scars. We see that the Griffins do great damage even against the medium armor of the Troll Headhunters, and the TC Stomp, it doesn't feel so impactful right now. The Grunts just evaporate against Griffins.
Yeah, that's crazy. But we see the Raider really gets his job done. One Griffin dies, but still 3 in the air.
Dude, this Raider is an MVP though. This one Raider will be enough to pick off a few units. We saw those Wolves with Roar going absolutely crazy. With 40 damage
You
crits.
say that, but the Paladin level 3 comes now with the Holy Light 2. Oof. And
Yes.
that saves the Griffs.
Yeah, just to keep the Griffins going right now, but SyDe, he's definitely running out of steam. We have absolutely no more mana to work with, and that's the trouble. We need Holy Light at all times in order to keep the heroes alive, to keep the Griffins alive. Oh, the Raider does get another ensnare actually.
And first hit bash.
Yeah, the bash as well. Wait, it's not actually taking care of the Raider that
And the
quickly.
Raider
It felt like
goes
the
down,
Raider
yeah.
was taking ages to die, that Raider. It wasn't really going down so quick.
Oh, but TP being popped.
Scars though, he's dropped to 30 supply right now, and SyDe managed to get his expansion back up in the background. Sick timing from SyDe
But
there.
there's only one worker, so far no real gain. And it's still 10 supply up for SyDe. So he might just heal up once he builds the shop.
Yes, unfortunately, I think SyDe here, obviously having to rebuild the expo was so expensive.
Yeah.
He kind of had to neglect the shop, and now he has to wait, heal up, and that's the trouble with an Archmage, is that there's not a great deal of mana recovery for human.
Yeah, and he really needs it. He would have level 5 MK very soon. And the Bolt, boy oh boy, that would be a lifesaver.
Yeah, level 3 Bolt is obviously incredibly strong. Not quite at the peak that it used to be, but it is still nevertheless a really powerful ability. And there we are, level 3 Bolt is online. But at the same time, Scars does have the level 3 Wolves online, which are very troublesome to deal with, especially when harassing peasants.
But I think at this point, he's doing the right decision. He's not going for the peasant line. He's trying to cancel the healing, and I think that's really smart.
That's an interesting observation, actually, because I would have probably just sent the wolves straight into the line as quickly as possible. Maybe just leave them invisible and then let the human walk away and then start attacking the workers. But then cancelling, I mean, you can see the Paladin is now still pretty damaged as well. And perhaps that Stomp will come into play in order to take out the Paladin from the fight. Maybe after the Staff of Sanctuary has been used on one of the Griffins, potentially. There's a little bit of an
It's
opportunity
possible.
for Scars to get a
And
hero
he doesn't
kill.
have any potions or anything, right? If he gets stomped and Chain Lightning, he's basically dead.
Yeah, especially because the TC is very, very close to level 5 here. Although saying that 5
Oh, the
Griffins and
creep
level
check.
3 Bolt, the damage is
Oh.
immense on the TC, which has no survivability items. There we go, Invo being purchased immediately. The Stomp, I feel like, needs to come out on the Paladin potentially. One Griffin being ensnared right now, being focus fired. The damage is really not that impressive on Scar's end. He is really struggling
Oh,
to even
that's
take
true.
out a single Griffin with 8 armor right now.
Yeah, and that with 3 headhunters, mind you.
Yeah, the piercing damage and also the chain lightning as well. Not enough DPS to take out the Griffin quickly. We just see the Griffins are so good at picking off individual units. And I'd like the SyDe has now decided, right, I did my damage, I did a little bit of, I managed to pick off a few units, and now I can just go back and recover. But actually gets caught a little bit again, maybe staying too long for the experience.
Yeah, that was a bit too greedy, I think, yeah.
SyDe potentially being punished here for that, and now getting enveloped in another fight that he probably shouldn't have taken.
Well,
and TC is level 5.
To be fair, he did get a Raider and a Rindwider, so meh.
It was a
But for Griffin,
It was a decent trade, but the trouble is that the heroes for human are pretty low. Both are very low. There's no mana available on either hero. I feel like maybe a mana potion would be huge for Paladin, and there we go. Mana potion purchased for the Paladin.
Oh.
Maybe to potentially keep the MK alive. The
does
MK's
the
being
MK die?
focused.
Oh,
there we go.
the
Holy
Holy
Light.
Light.
Holy Light coming up. The mana pot not even being used. But wait, the MK is still in danger.
oh, but he gets a heal pot.
Nicely done by SyDe, but there's still no healing, no mana available for the Orc. So now they can't stun any heroes, and the counter focus goes back
the
onto the
lucky pot.
TC. Yes, big heal potion coming in clutch, and those wolves are so oppressive. And Scars is doing a great job keeping them on the hero at all times, and that Paladin is just getting chipped to death.
Oh, but Scars really is... Ooh, there are 5 Griffins now. And Scars really has 0 lumber. 1,000 gold, 39 lumber.
I feel like I've been watching the production tab with peons coming up all the time, and there's still 0 lumber for Scars.
Yeah.
You can see that where the peons were chopping, they're actually really, really far away from the tree line, and we see Scars now adjusted, but only after the fight ended. So now he has no lumber to fall back on.
Yeah, this kind of looks a little bit depressing.
We see that the difference in gold mine is about 3,000 roughly.
Yeah.
For SyDe, as we would expect, of course, he needs the gold advantage
Definitely, yeah.
to win with his style. But now, if SyDe can just take a few more good trades, or stay away and just creep on 50 food.
Yeah.
I feel like he should be able to build up that Griffin army finally. 20
His
minutes into the
expansion
game.
is back up, by the way, right?
Yes.
I kind of missed that.
Yes, so SyDe has been running from 2 bases for quite a while now, investing into more upgrades. We've got the second attack, and the MK gets Wand of the Wind, which is an absolutely massive item against the Tauren Chieftain.
Oh, yeah.
It feels like SyDe will be able to open any engagement with Stormbolt onto potentially the Farseer, cyclone the TC in the air, and the Farseer might literally just die in like 2 seconds.
Now I'm wondering, now they're both at each other's expansions
Yep.
again. I mean, this one's gonna fall.
Yeah, even the magic damage, which isn't very strong against Fortified, is enough with those Griffins and the heroes chopping away. And at the same
And
time...
I think SyDe can TP now.
Yeah, I would say that...
Scars has nothing.
Oh, and also Scars has no TP, so he needs to respect this teleport and back off right away. But with the level 2 aura from the side of the Tauren Chieftain, it should be enough to keep his distance, which he did do really well in the early game, and I think he has managed to do that brilliantly so far. But Scars has to keep the pressure on pretty much all times. He's lost the expansion now, so this is pretty much do or die, and I feel like those Troll Headhunters are pretty much toast against the amount of Griffins we have right now, especially with the Stormhammer splash damage. And here we go, first Stormbolt coming onto the side of the Raider. The Raider goes down immediately.
Oh boy, that is so quick.
The focus fire on the second Raider as well, so now it's going to be really hard to control the Griffins that are in the air. There we go, Cyclone the TC.
Oh yeah.
And potentially Hero Focus coming out from SyDe. I would like to have seen him use it against the Farseer, but not needed. Huge stuff coming to the heroes.
And there's the GG. No chance.
Woo! Nice job from SyDe. I'm really happy to see him bring it back in this game. Such a tough early game for him in this particular match. It felt like Scars had a chance to close it out, but even though SyDe managed to go to Scars' main base and harass with the heroes and the Dragonhawks, it looked really weak. Crucially, the 2 footmen were able to keep constantly harassing the peons at the expansion for Scars, and it just kind of ruined Scars' ability to get his economy online. He had no lumber left, you know, due to using repair and stuff. And then at the end of the day, he couldn't mass an army with enough anti-air to take care of the Griffins.
Yeah, that was crazy. It felt like he had like at least 24 footmen always streaming into the peon line. And in the end, I think it was probably something like 10 or so, but really efficient. And you really saw how this hurt Scars, and he couldn't put up the pressure because he just couldn't build a unit.
Yeah, unfortunately. And also with one Raider as well, it feels like you have so little control. There was so little catch in order to maybe find the MK on the map and get a teleport out of him or something. And SyDe was able to just hold on, and eventually, even though despite losing the expansion, was able to get his army online in the end. The 50-foot Griffins with super upgrades, 2 attack, 3 armor, devotion aura, it's too much for the Orc to overcome.
And I think at this point you really have to question the TC. He didn't go for the shockwave all-in. And at that point, I mean, the TC was 5, but he didn't really do anything. Like, sure, the aura is nice, but for a level 5 hero, Shadowhunter would have been way more efficient.
Yeah, I could imagine, though, the only trouble is the Shadowhunter may have got blown up instantly by that level 3 bolt, though it has to be said he could have gone down really fast. But I do feel like either the Hex or the Heal Wave would have been more useful overall, or just going with Shockwave on the TC and just playing a little bit more for economy harass and killing the peasants. Because at the end of the day, not enough economy damage was really done in order to keep SyDe down, and Scars suffered too much equal damage as well.
True that.
Not
but
able
in
to
the
get a
end,
counter up.
I do have to say, SyDe's decision to not defend his expansion, but to keep harassing, and his conviction that he could come back, he could build his own expansion back up again, it really worked out well. I did not think that was possible. That was nice.
You know, when I was looking at the resources, it really felt like SyDe was struggling to get back online after losing the expansion, but he managed to go for that attack, build up enough gold, about 400, start rebuilding the town hall again, and of course, if you're able to power build it once again, it comes up really quick. And it's like 53 seconds or something, the expo is right back up. And speaking of right back, we're heading right back into the game, guys. Game 3 between SyDe and Scars right now. Let's get it on. Blademaster, I'm a little bit surprised right now, to be quite honest.
All right.
I would have expected FieryFox once again, especially
Yeah.
it's known as a really good map for that particular hero, Blademaster. I wonder if Scars is going to go.
Yeah, it's a different strategy than in the last games.
I've just been joined here by my 5th
Hello there. Yeah. I'm honored to be here. That's so nice. And especially in this game where it's 1v1 Scar side, gonna determine whether they go into the big stage later on.
Yeah, all eyes will definitely be on the players here that have managed to get out of the open brackets to see how far they can progress and join the 8 players that already qualified. So SyDe, he's electing to go with the Golem pool, which is pretty greedy, but it goes unpunished because Scar's decided to go with a Blademaster mirror image opener and creep.
Yeah.
So in the end, this opener is working out brilliantly for SyDe, and he could get level 3 pretty easily this time.
It's interesting that he went for this because it's his last game he went FieryFox. He probably had a suspicion that Scars would do something else.
Perhaps that's it. You know, it's when you play against players in a tournament, it's so different to ladder. You know, on ladder you can play the same way every time, and unless you kept matching the same person, you don't really have to adapt. But in a series, players want to try and find any competitive edge they can, and obviously Scars here deciding to throw out something different. And SyDe, I think, maybe anticipating that, because a FieryFox harass on this map against that Rock Golem opener would have been pretty deadly indeed, it has to be said.
High risk, high rewards.
Well, I didn't really know SyDe as a player that plays like that, but maybe he does. Speaking of high risk, high reward, the greater mana potion is just huge for the Archmage. If we get a level 3 early online, that would be huge.
And Orc will face some trouble, yeah. I wonder who's going to enter the enemy base first. If it's first going to be the Blademaster or Archmage. Oh, never mind. Speaking of which, Archmage is already going for it.
Yeah, I love that SyDe actually left the big orange camp for the militia. This will guarantee him level 3. He'll be able to spawn level 2 water elementals inside the Orc base, and he has so much mana available. But he sniffs out that Scars is doing a really greedy creep camp, and I'm not sure that this is the way for Scars to approach this particular map, because it's going to be really, really tough for him to heal up, to hit level 3, and to survive. So yeah. SyDe now is in a terrific position for sure.
Couldn't get the big... what's it called again? Is it a creep?
Yeah, the big creep, the Null Overseer.
No, yeah, that was it.
Yeah, the Null Overseer that drops the item. Unfortunately, you know, Scars wasn't able to pick that up. If it was a Claws +8, that would be huge. Ooh, the Grud here. Nice job by SyDe, keeping tabs on the low units that good players always send to the fountains, and being able to trigger the creep aggro onto it. Very nicely done by SyDe.
The Blademaster running laps here, going places.
Well, he's got pretty powerful legs, hasn't he? Have you seen how muscular the body of the blade is?
Oh, yeah. No, I hadn't focused too much. You see a lot of their face, you know, but maybe...
If you zoom right in, you see that he definitely doesn't skip leg day, bro.
Oh, damn.
That's for sure. There we go, level 2 mirror image being popped. I'm not sure how impactful it's going to be. It's pretty low already, the blade that is, so the image spawns with the current HP as well. So it's putting on a tiny little bit of chip damage onto the Archmage. And Spikes only just came online as well, crucially, so the Footman here got a lot of damage done and cancelled that Voodoo Lounge pretty easily.
Yeah. But he's building a new one already. I wonder if SyDe is going to scout. Is he efficient? He sees it now.
Yeah, he kind of has to, SyDe has to run this direction anyway to the nearest fountain. I like that he also purchased the Boots of Speed. Scars also bought the Boots of Speed.
Oh,
so
yeah.
the Archmage definitely needed to get his own pair. Otherwise the Blademaster would just run you down. And Scars, he's reaching tier 2 with 21 food and almost no resources.
I wonder if the Boots of Speed on the Archmage is going on the horse or on the one he's sitting on the horse.
I think it goes on the horse.
All right.
And it's 2 boots, so maybe the front feet are enough to propel the horse forward, as it were. But yeah, SyDe, I want to see what second hero he's going to pick. And I'm going to call it's a Tavern hero, and it's going to be a Beastmaster. What do you think?
It could be to spawn a later more units, to have more forces. Also for the Blademaster, he doesn't want to focus the summoned units.
No, absolutely. Especially the bears, for example, from the Beastmaster would be super tanky. Beside, he's going standard. He's got the Mountain King coming out, Sanctum is coming, and Double Sanctum, actually. The second one just got thrown up as well. I was curious to see, is it going to be rifles? Because we've got the early Blacksmith. Beside, I think maybe doubling back on his approach. He wants to just get mass breakers with upgrades, I would think.
Seeing his start, I guess, makes sense.
Scars is really struggling with his economy right now. The Defend Footmen are so strong. When there's no melee damage to take care of them, you see the burrows, they're just near enough useless.
It's kind of sad to see. Oh, here comes the troll at Hunter. Funny company.
Oh, nicely done, actually. Scars, I thought he was just going to maybe run the unit in and maybe lose track of it, but actually he managed to draw the creeps and Side can't heal up. Not going to be too impactful, but it was a nice, cute move. And the Blade, he has to come back home and just clean house. There's absolutely nothing to take care of those, the footmen and the peasant line, the peon line right now.
He's finally level 3 now. I wonder what he would skill. A mirror image again? Oh, crit.
Crit level 2 it is, which I think, you know, the Blade does have claws. Not as strong as they used to be, of course. It used to be claws +6 when I was playing. Now it's claws +4. Circlet as well, also decent. But the damage will mount up, especially with critical strike level 2. But the thing is, Scars, look at his supply. Like, I don't know what army he's going to try and make right now or how he's going to get through this game because he has so little economy. And he decides, okay, I'm just going to go tier 3.
Tier 3, yeah.
That's a pretty... I would call it desperate, but I think also at the same time, there's maybe no other option. Because Scars, he doesn't have the wood count to be able to build like Beastery Lodge or Beastery, double Beastery or Beastery Totem. So he thinks maybe tier 3 Lightning Orb and Tri-Hero might be enough.
Yeah, like focus all the power on the hero.
Yeah, exactly, because the Blade, you know, with Lightning Orb as well, could be really strong. And Side is choosing not to creep up his Mountain King, so if Scars can live, then the MK levels, you know, not being level 3 will be huge. Well, Penitent of Energy, though, is a sick item for the MK.
Yeah, he's got some good grabs this game.
And absolutely. All right, Scars coming back in. He does have Hex also, which is really, really strong against the Defend Footmen, able to keep them controlled. You see that obviously Defend no longer works when they turn into a little chicken.
But you still need some piercing damage, but the last one just died. Oh, wait, never mind, there's no more.
And there's one Headhunter in the back that's being focused down. Scars hopefully can move that one to the side. The Shadow Hunter here feels a little bit useless right now. You know, the Hex isn't doing too much, and the slow is really nice. Is a really nice touch from Side. He's able to keep the pressure on so much with those 2 early sorcerers, even getting the Adept training already and the Priest Adept. So we're going to have invisibility potentially as well. Tier 3 behind as well. It feels like Side isn't in a super commanding position right now.
Who let all these humans in my base?
Well, I mean, they're all mostly gone now, but they did their job. I mean, Scars is, you know, hero dead, unable to creep. We don't have tier 3 online. Oh, nice to see a mirror image dodge though with the, against the bolt there. That was pretty cool. But yeah, go ahead.
He's going for the full hero. Every item on the hero is full mix.
He's going full Dota right now, basically.
Right.
And we see actually with just a crit and 1 attack, the Archmage lost pretty much 1/3 of his HP. So yeah, Dota might be the name of the game right now. It might be good for Scars to switch to a MOBA right now.
Grumpy already did, so.
Time for Orc players to switch to MOBAs, apparently.
But Grumpy still plays this as well, so.
True. A little bit of an interesting choice here, actually, from Side. He's getting attack upgrades for melee units and building a workshop. So I'm not really sure what sort of army Side is going for. Maybe Knights and Mortars. But it's a little bit difficult to support, you know, Knight, Mortar, Double Sanctum, all in one base as human, especially after teching tier 3. It's a race that definitely struggles to come online if you tech to tier 3 and you have all these things that you want to get, because human is obviously a race that thrives when they're tier 3 and gets a lot of upgrades and different kinds of units online. Typically not seen in, against Orc players, of course, but it feels like he has the window against Scars to try to get some sort of army that can't be countered by what the Orc has.
Yeah, especially because he's building full for his hero.
Well, exactly. So, I mean, there's pretty much no support for the Blademaster whatsoever. We don't even have level 2 yet for the Shadowhunter. There's no healing wave whatsoever. This level 3 Blade here really needs to carry and get some pickoffs with the Orb of Lightning.
And he's out of mana, so he can't really dodge anything with his mirror image. This is gonna be, he's in trouble.
Oh, it's 80 mana for the mirror image, but nice job.
Oh,
it just came up in time. Just enough mana to dodge the bolt there. And the Hex prolonging that period of time, which the MK could have killed the Blade, but the Archmage with boots. Wait, he's gonna die. He went to the last fireball. No way.
Oh, that's a GG already. Oh, that was really quick.
Side bringing the series back and winning it 2-1 for the team.